welcome to my Flosstube channel, Thread the Needle. My name is Vani, and you're joining me here for my year in review for 2022 because, you know what, it's the end of the year. To those of you who are joining me for the first time on my channel, welcome. This is where I talk about my love for full coverage cross stitch. And for those of you returning, welcome back. So I don't have a background for you because normally I put my whips on display, but I'm going to do a whip parade. So they're all in a pile ready to be shown to you. So I decided to show you a little bit of my colorful culture in the background. These are some of our shawls that come with our dresses and stuff. So I thought I'd color things up a little bit. So I'm going to dive right into my whip parade. Including all the whips that I have on the go. I'm going to talk about new starts coming up in the new year, and I'm going to talk about my stitching plans for 2023. Okay, so let's begin. I have had many projects over the years. This last year, I really enjoyed putting all of them into a rotation. It really worked for me. It gave me a chance to work on all of my projects without feeling like, you know, oh my God, I haven't worked on that one in a while. And sometimes it will take, by the time I get through my rotation, because I have a lot of projects in my whip pile, by the time I get to one, but it gives me a chance to kind of focus on one piece at a time and put a little bit of love in each one. And I feel like that way none of them get neglected. Some of them, you know, are easier to work on than others. Some of them are a little bit harder based on the count or the type of stitching that I'm doing. So it's been a wonderful year as far as stitching goes. There was a few months during the summer that I kind of took a break, and it kind of slowed me down and took me off track for a little bit. And then we had the Christmas rush of the Flossmas videos or the Vlogmas videos. And so I'm really excited to get back into a normal stitching routine. And so here we go. First up, we have one of my longest running projects. It's a labor of love, as all of these are, but this one, it's very important to me, and it's one of my favorite pieces. I might say that about all of them, but for this one, it is truly, truly true. And it's Ganesha. And I know many of you out there also really love this one. And I'm really close to making some solid progress on it, so I can't wait to keep going. So on Ganesha, I have completed 79,802 stitches. Okay, so this is where I am. That has brung me to 52% complete. Okay, so that's kind of cool. So I'm just over half complete. It is one of my favorite pieces, and I really enjoy. Last year, I tried to make it a bit of a focus piece. It didn't work out as much. I have different plans next year for a focus piece because I have a special project that is kind of time sensitive, and I got to get it done, but we'll get to that in a moment. So Ganesha, I think what I'm going to try and do is place in this upper corner, if I haven't already done it, what the finished piece is going to look like. So this is Ganesha by Heaven and Earth Designs, and it is on 22 count, 2/1 full cross. I love it. Every time I look at it, it's amazing. In person, on camera, in still photos, it's just beautiful. Beautiful. Okay, so I'm going to try, and I'm just going to lay them back. Oh, I'll lay them back on the table right here. Next, we have a project that I've been working on for a while. This is World Travel Bookshelf, and I'm doing this a little bit differently. I have decided to do each shelf separately and then frame them individually and then put them up on the wall. So here is where I am with World Travel Bookshelf. I have completed 68,678 stitches on this. Percentage wise, I had to do a little different calculation because I had to figure out how much was in the one shelf that I'm doing, not the whole project. If I'm correct, this makes me 35% complete on this shelf. So this is being done, again, it's a Heaven and Earth Designs. This is being done on 25 count 1/1 full cross. All of mine are full cross, but I like to say it anyway. This is, it's so colorful, and that's what I really enjoy about this, and so much detail involved. Okay. Next, we're going to move on to my London piece. This is actually called SK, which in Heaven and Earth terms refers to a story keep, which is kind of like a bookmark, which means it's a long, narrow piece of work. And this one is called SK Life is an Open Book London, because I think the original piece was called Life is an Open Book, and then they separated different areas and called them London. I think there's a Paris one, and so on and so forth. So here is this one, and this is being done on 22 count 2/1 full cross, and I have completed 16,245 stitches on this one, which gets me to 30% complete. This one I'm really enjoying. I especially like the detail in the archway with the ivy leaves. And this one is particularly special because 3 years ago, in 2019, Christmas time, me and my family went on a family vacation to London. And so this one I bought right after we came back, and it was just kind of like a memory of our trip. So I really, really enjoy this one. It always makes me think about the trip when we all went, and we had so much fun. It was lots of fun. Next up, we've got Peacock Glamour. No, sorry, Peacock Fantasy. There's another one in the same Peacock world that has that name. But this one is Peacock Fantasy. And this is how much I've got completed. Actually, I should open that up. Tiny bit of green here. That was done during one of my Flossmas days. But this is how much I have done. And this one is stitched on 28 count 1/1 full cross. And it's just beautiful. I love peacocks. I love anything to do with color. And peacocks have a lot of color, and they're so beautiful. So 28 count 1/1, and I have completed 7,419 stitches, which takes me to just under 7%. I've got 6.9% complete. So as you can see, we're still doing a lot of the blue stuff, and this is the body. I can't wait to get to the feathers where we get to pick up some more colors. I love it. Let's see. Ooh, next up we have Ayana. Ayana was one of my pieces that was in my UFO pile for a long time. And then this past year and a half, I decided to no longer have UFOs. I wanted to stitch on all of my pieces. And that's when I decided to have a rotation with every single whip that I have. And that's when she came out and has become part of my rotation. This is how much I've completed on it. And Ayana is being stitched on 22 count 2/1 full cross. And I have completed 12,637 stitches, which takes me to 8.2%. These numbers, they may seem like, you know, I'm not getting a lot done, but to me, it's still progress because I know how long I've been working on these pieces. But I like doing the math. I like to see how much I got completed each time and how much closer it gets me percentage-wise. It's really nice. So, like I said, Ayana is 8.2% done. And this one, there's a lot of black. We haven't gotten into much detail yet, but I do know that in this page, once I complete it, we'll see more of her. And it's going to be beautiful. Okay, let's see if I can fold that one back up just a touch. Okay, next up we have Autumn Owl Trio. I love these owls. They're like the cutest ever, and come on, they're adorable. I can't wait to get to this one right here. We're getting to get a nice bit of work done on this one. So Autumn Owl Trio is done on 22 count, 2/1 full cross. Now I have completed 66,387 stitches thus far on this piece. I can't give you an accurate percentage because unlike what I did with the bookshelf, I wasn't able to, I haven't actually, maybe I should, I haven't actually calculated how much the area I'm doing, because actually this piece had another page and a half of just yellow on top of this. And I just didn't want to do it. I was not going to do that much yellow. So I cut off that much of the just background orange. It was literally just this 2 colors of orange, page and a half more above this. And I decided to do this. Some people actually get colored marbled orange fabric and do just the owls on them, which is kind of cool too. So again, this is on 22 count, 2/1 full cross, and the details I really love is they're adorable, and each owl is going to be different, and they each have a different personality. And I really like that this one has a coffee cup, because as you all know, if you paid any attention to my Flossmas videos, I love coffee. And to me, that looks like a Starbucks coffee cup, but it just looks like a red, you know, winterized. I think there's snowflakes on there. Anyway, I love these owls. They're so cute, and I can't wait to work more on them. So I'm really looking forward to keeping this in my rotation. Next, we have Enchanted Garden. I really thought that I could get a good chance in completing this one this year. But I think maybe taking that break over the summer kind of hurt me when it comes to getting this piece done, because I'm very, very close. It's just that bottom part that needs to be done. That's the bottom edge of the piece. Enchanted Garden is being stitched on, so thus far all of my pieces have been Heaven and Earth designs. This one as well. This one is 18 count, 2/1 full cross. And I have completed 7,071 stitches, which gets me to 77.7% complete. So I'm really looking forward to this. I just really like this one because on such a small piece, they were able to get so much detail in, and I just love the colors. It's just a beautiful piece to work on. I really enjoy this one. Enchanted Garden. Okay. Next up is also a piece that was in my UFO pile for a very long time, and then when I decided I no longer wanted a UFO pile, for those of you who don't know, UFO means unfinished object. So I didn't want a UFO anymore, so I added everything that I'm working on into my WIP pile, and here's where we are. This is Prelude to a Kiss, Heaven and Earth Designs. There is so much confetti in this one. It's ridiculous. I haven't named all the artists' names in case I get one of them wrong, because whenever I'm filming these, I feel like I'm in such a rush and I'm going to forget details. So I will put it in the description. But this is Jo Wall, for those of you who don't know already. And all her pieces are so detailed. There's so much detail in it, and I can't wait to continue working on it. I'm almost getting to finish up that page. So this is 22 count, 2/1 full cross. So with all this much confetti, it gets a bit tight, but I think it's still going to look fabulous. I have completed 17,758 stitches on this, and that gets me to just a little over 10% done. So it's a really lovely piece. Prelude to a Kiss. Now, next up is my first non-Heaven and Earth Designs piece. This is by Anita. I think her Etsy store is One Stipple Two Stitch, and this is a bit special because Anita asked me, because she knew my love for full coverage cross stitch, and she asked me if I would stitch this piece. And I said, of course. And the cool thing about it is filled with specialty threads, which I don't usually use. So there's some glow in the dark. This is glow in the dark thread right here for the white section. It's kind of cool, actually. So this is being done because of the size of the piece. I had to go with a large count. So it was 28 count, 1/1 full cross. And it's a beast, but I still love it. And I picked it up a little bit during my Flossmas, and I got excited again because there's some really beautiful colors, the greens and the blues in there. There's a lot of black, a lot of 310, a lot of 939, and a lot of 823. But we will go on. This is, like I said, 28 count, 1/1 full cross, and I have completed 20,439 stitches. But that has given me just under 3%. It's at 2.8% complete. So you can imagine how epic it's going to be when it's finished. Siamese fighting fish. Next up, we have Mini Opening Night. This one is a special piece. I am stitching this on 18 count, 2/1 full cross. And I have completed 5,125. And this is special to me because my daughter was a dancer until this last year when she's in to the end of her high school, and so she wanted to kind of concentrate on school, and so she stopped her dancing, but she was a ballerina amongst other things. So she did ballet, she did all forms of dance, tap, jazz, everything. But I want to finish this for her. I'm really excited because 18 count, 2/1, and I've got, yeah, I already went over this. So that gave me about 7.5%. And I'm really excited because the ballet dancer starts to come over here. Oh, it is going to be amazing. I don't mind stitching the background because it's, you know, it's there for a reason, and it creates contrast to the focus part of the picture. But I can't wait to get to the detail part. I'm really looking forward to it. So this is Mini Opening Night. Now, let's see. Next up, we have another lovely piece, very detailed, Mini Little Dreamer's Tree. Now, this one is going to be kind of cool when it's done. It is long and narrow, so I can't even go to the end. I mean, like, it's going to be pretty cool. So, Mini Little Dreamer's Tree is being done on 18 count, 2/1 full cross, and I have completed 7,640 stitches, which brings me to 20%. That's actually not bad. Wow, 20%. Cool. So I really love stitching this because there's so much detail in there. You can't tell until you look closely, and every time I look at it, I see something else. So that's what I really love about these full coverage pieces, the ones that have like so much detail in them. It's really kind of cool. Okay. Next is another detailed piece that I absolutely adore. This one is Mini Moose Crossing, and it is on 2/1 on 18 count. I always comment on the detail in this piece whenever I bring it up in one of my videos because it just astonishes me. The detail in the foliage, in the tree, in the branches, all of it. I have completed 4,328 stitches, which brings me to 5%. That's not bad, actually. 5%. When you think how much I've actually stitched, how much time I've actually spent on it, that's actually pretty good. So that's Mini Moose Crossing. I can't wait to get to the other details. And this is one of the ones that it's going to have detail in every part that you stitch on, which is one of my favorite things about full coverage. The detail and what you're stitching on. And it's just beautiful. Okay. Next up, we have Mini Avarice, and this is part of a group of series of the 7 deadly sins, and I started with this one, and I'm actually making some good progress. We've got the diamonds filling in lovely. These 7 ladies, they're, oh my God, they're so beautiful, and each one representing whatever sin that they're supposed to showcase. It is done beautifully with this artwork, and I have completed 6,424 stitches, which brings me to 7.6%. I absolutely love every time this comes around in my rotation. This is on 22 count, 2/1. I'm going to do all of them in the series. I just need to live longer and everything will be okay. I absolutely love them. Love them. And I started with this one. I don't know if I was going alphabetically, if I was just in the mood for yellow. I just wanted to go with this piece. So here we are. Now, next up is a beauty of a piece. When it's completed, it's going to be amazing. It's Sunflower Bee. And I've neglected to stitch up the edges, so there's a bit of fraying at the edges, but Sunflower Bee is such a beautiful piece. I can't wait to get to the flower part. This is shading of the petals. It's not even background. When you look at the picture, this is shading of the petals in the flower, of the sunflower. And then the bee is going to be there. It's going to be amazing. I believe I'm stitching this on 18 count. Actually, I think this is 22 count. One or the other. 2/1 full cross. And I have completed 4,095 stitches, which brings me to 4.6%. So a long ways to go, but it's going to be beautiful. I just have this vision of it being in my kitchen. I don't know why. Sunflower Bee, my kitchen. Somewhere where there's sun, right? That's weird. But anyway, love it. Ooh, next up is another one of my series that I've made a bit of progress more than I did with the 7 Deadly Sins. This is the QS Sapphire. It is part of the Birthstone series, and she's kind of cute. It's adorable. Like, just the amount of detail that comes up in just that face is my favorite part. So I have completed 15,521 stitches, and that has brought me to, I lost my place on the paper, 43% complete. It's amazing. And we're getting into the good stuff. This diagonal will bring us into more of her hair, and then her dress, and then I think she's got a necklace right there. It's going to be beautiful. All right. So next, is anybody keeping count? Because I'm not. Next, we have one of my favorite pieces. It's just so enjoyable to stitch on this one. This one is Golden Promises. Okay. I am almost finished with the top row. This one is so much fun to stitch on. I absolutely love this one. Every time it comes in my rotation, it makes me so happy. This is on 18 count, 2/1 full cross, and I have completed 32,774 stitches, which gets me to just under 18%. I'm at 17.9%. I love this. I can't wait to finish this last page here. I've just got this corner bit right here to finish, and then I get to move on to down to the next column, next row of pages. So much. I really love this one. I can't explain it. I don't know if it's just the cultural background of it, you know, it's just, you know, the jewelry, the colors, the flowers. I love it all. I love it. Okay. Next up, we have my, let's see, one of my favorites. Have I said that about every one so far? I probably have. I love them all for various different reasons. But this one, you all know, I absolutely adore this one. This is my Sleepy Owlet. It's like adorable. Okay, so this one I'm doing on 18 count. Can I go? Yeah, okay. All right, we're gonna hold it like this. Sleepy Owlet, where are you on my paper? There you are. 40,294 stitches, and that got me to 44% complete. I love stitching on this one. It was part of the Mystery Sal from the Cross Stitch Studio a couple of years ago, and I'm still at it. I've got one more page up here to do, so I'm trying to decide if when I finish up here, do I want to go back up here? Anyway, love this piece to death. Love it, love it. So much fun to stitch on. Okay. Next up, we have, oh, Tiger Dreams. This one is just, I don't know, there's something about it, just the picture. I haven't gotten much done on it. I know. It's just a corner of black. Actually, I think it's like 939, so a lot of navy blue. This is 1,275 stitches, so it's just over 1% complete. But when I do get into some of the good stuff, it's going to be beautiful. Beautiful. The tiger and sleeping in the fields and the colors, it's going to be really, really nice. That one's on 22 count 2/1. So let's see now. We are going to keep on going. This is another UFO that I hauled out and I put into my whip pile. This is Mini Dragon Charmer. It's kind of cute. It's a mini version, so there's a lot of confetti, but I think I'm getting into some detail right here. So I'm glad. I didn't get to work on it much this year, even though it was in my whip pile. It was a lot of just kind of catching up on where I was and moving it into my new diagonal column stitching method. So a lot of that was happening. So I do have 5,048 stitches done, and that gets me to 7%. So overall, not bad. That's a pretty decent amount. It's going to be really fun. This is on 22 count, 2/1 full cross. Okay. Now let's see. Next up is a piece that I picked out for my cross stitch buddy, Leanne. I wanted to do this for her birthday. This is an ottoman tile piece that I got on Etsy, and it's just so much fun to work on. It's a departure from my regular full coverage. It's still full coverage, but it's like, I don't know how to explain it. It's just different, and I really enjoy it. It's on 18 count because that is my preferred fabric to stitch on. And I've got 1,563 stitches done, and I'm at 2% done. But Leanne understands that this will take a while. I really like it. It's going to be so much fun to keep going with this one. Next up was this year's Mystery Sal from the Cross Stitch Studio. And then we found out that it's actually called, well, it was always called, actually, did they tell us the name? I think it was called Under the Sea. And then it came out that the name was Mechanical Seahorse. So here it is. This is just a page, and this, I'm on the second page. It's really hard to tell because it's blue on blue, but it's going to be kind of cool when it's done. This is on 22 count 2/1, and I have completed, I don't know, because when I put it in Pattern Keeper, they released it page by page, but then when the year finished and the full pattern was out, and they sent us the full project, so I haven't transferred my progress into the full one yet, so I don't know exactly how much, but I'm going to keep going with this and keep it in my whip parade. Sorry, in my whip pile, in my rotation. So yeah, that's the Mechanical Seahorse from the Cross Stitch Studio. Next up is a piece that I had started with the purpose of wanting to do the Stitch With Me videos, and it was going really well, and then life happened and I kind of got derailed, but I really want to keep going with it, so I've kept up with it. I want to keep up with it this year in 2023, and it's Mini Forget-Me-Not. It's been on my wish list for the very longest time, and I bought this one and two other companion pieces that I thought go well together, and this is how much I've got done on it and how I'm going to continue with my Stitch With Me videos with this. I've got 2,453 stitches done. That takes me to 5% complete. It's going to look amazing when it's done. It really is. I really like this one. It's so much fun to stitch on. I can't wait to get into the detail of the fairy and the flowers. It's going to be pretty epic. Okay. The other piece that I wanted to show you was my Christmas piece. I started this in Christmas in July the previous year, so 2021 of July, I think. Leanne can correct me if I'm wrong. We did it together. We wanted a Christmas piece, and so I stitched on it every 24th and 25th of the month, as many as I could remember to do so. And I'm doing it extreme cross-country style. And this is the whole piece. And I finished one color so far, and I started the second. That's why this is filled up in the corner here. This is being stitched on 18 count 2/1 full cross, and I have completed 6,962 stitches, and that gets me to 8.4% complete. So it's really hard to see anything on this. It's a lot of that pale pink color, and you know, but I'm going to keep going with it and keep it as extreme cross country, and I'm going to keep doing it on the Christmas days, so that's the 24th and the 25th of every month. Yeah, so next is the surprise stitch that I'm doing for my husband and I for our 25th anniversary, which is coming up in 2025. And I'm going to take it off the Q-snap, which I probably should have done before I started the video. I thought I was totally prepared, and I had notes, I had the numbers, I had the percentages, I wrote a list of everything that I want to go over, and then I forgot little details like this about how maybe I should have taken it off the Q-snap before I started the video. But anyway, that's okay. We'll get there. Okay, so this is a picture of my husband and I that I had commissioned to turn it into a cross stitch piece by Heaven Earth Designs, and it's being done on 25 count, and I got a special fabric for it so that I wouldn't have to stitch the background, which is full white. So the numbers are skewed, but here's what it is. I've got the tops of our heads done, and I'm gonna keep on chugging along. It's gonna be kind of cool. I really hope I get close to finishing it. If not, he gets it for the 26th anniversary, which is okay. So this is going to be my focus piece for this upcoming year and probably the following year as well. It's so for a focus piece, I'll explain that when I come to the portion of my video here where I explain my plans for next year. So this one, it's going to be really good. So far I've gotten, well, see, the number's not accurate because in the Pattern Keeper chart, I had to kind of say that I already stitched all this white, so the number is not accurate, but here's where I am. Okay, so that's going to be a fun piece to continue with. Okay, I think I've shown everything that is on my whip pile, so that's great. So now we're gonna, as I look at my notes, I'm going to talk about a new start that I have for 2023. So the Cross Stitch Studio is doing another mystery sale again. I love these full coverage mystery sales. They're so much fun. They're not for everyone, and I get that, but I really enjoy them. Heaven Earth used to do them back in the day, but they don't anymore, and nobody else has done anyone since. And then the Cross Stitch Studio came out with a full coverage one, and that's it. My life was made. So this one is kind of super fun. So we had the owl, then we had the Under the Sea one, which was the seahorse, and now we have In the Garden. Just the name means that it's going to be colorful. I feel like, but I don't know. I've seen people online. I really maybe should stay away from spoilers, but people have already started on their New Year start. I'm going to start tomorrow, which is January 1st. But they released the first page early, which was really kind of nice of them. But this is the fabric that I got. Isn't it to die for. And I realize the project is a square, so it doesn't really matter which way, unless I just have to decide and then stick with it. It's going to be so much fun. I'm going to start it tomorrow. I'm so excited. So as of now, that is the only new start that I have planned. But that will always change. I have a feeling that as the year goes on, maybe I might get another new start in there, because I'm close to finishing Enchanted Garden. So whenever you finish a project, it is a rule that you have to start another project. So I might have to do that. Really looking forward to this upcoming year. My focus piece is going to be my anniversary piece for my husband. I plan on making that my daily 100, which means that I basically stitch on it every day, at least 100 stitches, before I move on to whatever piece that I have planned to work on for that night. So hopefully that'll get me a little bit closer. I'll try and figure out how much. Is it 100 I need to stitch every night, or 200, or maybe a little bit more on the weekends and then 100 on the weekdays? So I'm kind of playing around with it and seeing, but I really want to get some good progress done on it. Because this year I didn't at all, and that has put me behind. I'm not going to stress about it. If it gets done for our anniversary, great. If it doesn't, then that's fine. We'll move on. That's the focus piece. And then I've decided that I'm going to keep all of the pieces in my rotation, and I really enjoyed what I did. So I have a wheel app called Spin the Wheel, and it just lets me, sorry, that was an ad that always pops up, but oh my. So this app lets me put all my projects in the wheel, and I just spin it and it tells me which one I'm going to stitch on. So there's a lot of apps out there. This is for an Android phone, and so according to this one, I'm going to stitch on Ayana, but I'll start fresh in the new year, because I'm going to start with my new year piece tomorrow, and then after that I'll start my rotation. So what I'll do is I'll use that app, which has all of my whips in the wheel, and I will spin it and it tells me what to stitch on. I like to stitch on each piece and get at least 300 to 400 stitches, because I feel like that number kind of gets me to a point on the piece where you can actually see a little bit of progress of what I did. And that's why I like to do that. Some projects, if I'm in the mood, I'll try and finish a diagonal. If I'm halfway to finishing a diagonal, then I'll just try to finish it, just because it would be really cool to finish it during that rotation piece. So that's my plan. I'm going to keep track of my stitches like normal. So I use Pattern Keeper a lot, so for everything. So at the end of my stitching session, I'll keep note of my how many stitches I've done. Speaking of, I got a new phone for Christmas, yay! But then this phone, I did have an app that I used to use on it, and it helped me keep track of how many stitches and how many percentage left. When I got the new phone, that app didn't work on it, so I had to get another one. It's called Stitch Pal, and it allows you to enter in, I'm trying to not get glare, hang on, there you go. It allows you to enter each project. So if you click on it, oh my god, this is not going to work without the glare. Okay, so you got Ayana there. Then it tells you that you have 8% complete, and then you can add the number of stitches you did for that stitching session, and then it keeps track of it for you. Another thing that I want to do this year is not only keep track of how many stitches I do each time a project comes in my rotation, but I also want to keep track of my stitching time. I've never done that before. And when I say stitching time, I mean from the moment that I sit down with the purpose of working on a piece. That can mean anything from getting my project organized, from threading the needle, from actual stitching, from marking off completed stitches, from moving on to the next symbol, anything in that stitching session per project. I want to do this because over the years, many people, friends and family, have asked me, how long it takes me to finish a piece. I have no idea. Because of who I am, and because I love variety, and because I get bored, I work on multiple pieces at a time. So I cannot pinpoint for you how long it takes me to stitch a piece. So what I would like to do is this year, I want to keep track of, for example, let's say, even though I've already stitched on some of these pieces, I want to say, for example, this one, let's go with this. I want to start keeping track of how long it takes me during a stitching session and how many stitches I made, so I can average it out. So then when I do eventually finish this piece from 2023, I can average out how long it took me to do a certain number of stitches. So at least I'll have an idea of how long it took me to stitch this piece. And then moving forward, for any new projects that I have, I want to keep track of how long it takes me, so that when someone asks me, oh, that's a beautiful piece, how long did it take you? I can actually have an answer for them. It won't be an exact answer, but it'll be an answer. And I think that will kind of help me and help people understand how much effort and time and energy and love each of my pieces have. Because I love this craft so much, and every piece brings me joy, and I love everything that I work on, and I'm so happy that I was able to share that with you today. And I can't explain more how much I love full coverage cross stitch. It makes me happy. That's it. Stitching on these pieces, they make me happy. So thank you so much for joining me here for my 2022 year in review, and I can't wait to see you next year, and we can share in some more full coverage cross stitch. Bye everyone.